Hey y'all, it's Rebecca again here for a new audio podcast, all centered around subjects to help take your flute playing to the next level. Are you ready? Great, let's get started. Today we're going to take a dive into some experiences I've had in my professional life that showed me that the natural way is the comfortable way to play the flute. Stay tuned, you're going to need this and like it.
You can do it, and Rebecca will show you how, step by step all along the way. Introducing the Learn Flute Podcast.
Well, welcome back. It's time to check out this episode, which is actually number 52. Hey, I made it. I've been recording these for exactly a year now, weekly. How about that? If you're just joining me today for your first time, then I'll give you an extra welcome to you and let you know that I'm happy you're learning how to play the flute. You've come to the right place to learn how to play it really well. Now, I know you self-motivated learners are wanting to do the best you can, and I'm here to help show you the way. I've been teaching, if I count right, it appears that it's coming up on about 29 years now. Does that sound right? Oh, yeah, I'm that old. But to be fair, my first set of students were when I was about 15 years old. I took it very seriously, though. I never missed a lesson, and I wanted so badly for everyone to succeed. So just like now, I pulled out all the stops. Well, fast forward all the years and through a lot of professional training and many hundreds of students, you're here now listening with me online. It's kind of fun. I've had the privilege of working with students who have climbed to really high heights in the flute playing world. And I've taught students who have won national flute competitions and are now high-level studio musicians in both the freelance world as well as the professional world. Now, that's another story for another time, but for now, let's focus on you. Now, if you've been following the module lessons I've set for you, then you'll know a bit more about this and we'll be getting some in-depth training as well. That's in the membership area. So if you haven't had time to get yourself a membership and into that membership area, please do so today. You will not regret it at all. Now, I want to tell you a little story about something that I do besides what you see me do. I've had a full studio of students for many years, as I've already explained, and one thing I really like to do is help my students find opportunities to perform and use their talents, especially on the flute. Now, you know that the more you use it, the better it gets, right? And boy, we could do a whole episode on just that also. I'll make notes for later. Well, anyway, I happen to know quite a bit about the pageant space, so I'm always hooking my students up with the opportunities to snag themselves a large scholarship. Now, I explain to them that there's a lot of money out there just waiting for someone who's willing to go through all the hoops to get it. I also tell them that I personally will show them how, and they always jump on board and we literally just go for it. Now, at this time, I think the most scholarship money I've had someone win in a pageant is somewhere around like $20,000 mark. That's kind of a lot of dough for dressing well, answering questions, and playing a pretty song on stage, don't you think? Well, I'm making it sound easy here, but really it's actually one of the most trying and growing time in a person's life. Well, I'm just going to skip past all these details I could share right now for probably a few hours, and let's just move right to the meat of this subject. Now, just last week, I was talking to one of my students who's preparing for a big state pageant, and after winning the local pageant and already pocketing some good money for future college tuition, and I noticed something crazy in her pictures from the last pageant. Her left elbow was so high in the picture and in the videos that she looked like she was literally flapping her wings as she played. So picture this. In fact, if you have your flute out, get it up right now as if you're ready to play, and then take your left elbow and raise it like 6 inches at least without moving anything else. Can you see what happens? Well, if you don't have a mirror and can't see it, I bet you can feel it. Your wrist is now bent and there's a lot of pulling on a certain couple of muscles that run up and down, up your hand and then kind of down your arm. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I can just feel it now. It kind of goes clear into my elbow. That's definitely going to hurt within time if it stayed that way. So I took some time to explore this phenomenon with my student because she certainly hasn't been known to hold her flute in crazy positions before. And what we found was that in her effort to, quote, try really hard at this performance, she felt like she had to also, quote, look like she was trying hard as well. So she put her body in some unnatural positions to demonstrate what she was feeling. Interesting? I thought so. But at the same time, I completely understand. I've taught so many ages throughout the years, and one thing I've really noticed and understood is that there are some personalities, and not really common in the wee youngsters, but in the teens and in the older arena, people tend to do something I call over-trying. Now, over-trying is a response that we have to really, really wanting to do a good job. But sometimes in the meantime, we end up trying so hard that we put our body parts in unnatural positions. Now, you may be wondering why this is such a big deal that I would take a whole entire episode to just talk to you about it. Well, hopefully you're putting two and two together here and deducing what unnatural hand or arm position puts unnecessary strain on muscles. And what happens from bent wrists, especially, is a common dysfunction in the body that ends up being called carpal tunnel syndrome. Have you ever heard of it? If you have, it may be because you have a friend or a relative who was maybe like a bank teller or a gardener or something like that that requires a lot of repetitive use of their hands and fingers. Now, what happens is that when doing something over and over and over for months and years, it does some damage to the tiny little muscles in our body unless we're positioned in a way that's completely natural and how our bodies were set up to move in the first place. So, if that bank teller using the number machine, actually I'm not sure if they even have those nowadays because everything has gone so digital where I live. So let's say the grocery store checkout lady or man, if they wiggle their fingers over the keypad with their wrist bent, usually that's because they're standing tall over the machine, rather than being down on the same level as the machine. Then they end up with this awful syndrome that requires a lot of therapy and in many cases surgery to correct. It causes numb arms and fingers and all sorts of problems. And it would still come back if the repetitive motion in the wrong position continued to happen, even after having surgery or therapy. So I learned all of this, fortunately, when I was just 18 years old at one of my first big teacher training events where I met a fellow flutist who was also a jazz pianist at night and on weekends. Now, she gave me the speech and I listened. I listened very carefully, actually, because I never, ever wanted to put my love for playing the flute in jeopardy by messing up my muscles. Whew. Well, that was kind of a long explanation for what I wanted to get at, which is that the natural way is the comfortable way to play the flute. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, then there's probably something unnatural happening. Now, don't worry, because I address most, and I hope all of the things that you need to know and feel as you practice and learn to play the flute. It's all in the membership area as you move through the lesson levels. We'll make it all great. Thanks so much for being here today on this episode. I appreciate you sticking around and learning with us. Now, these audios are going to be posted in a couple of places for you learners so that you can use this information to your benefit. And remember, I am your biggest cheerleader. Come in and take a lesson today at learnfluteonline.com. I will be waiting there for you. And as usual, let's keep this particular conversation going by having you ponder on your experiences and let us know what you think here in the comments section. After all, this is here for us in the flute learning community. I love your effort, and I'll be seeing you again soon. Bye now.
Thanks for listening today. Remember that this is where people of all ages, such as you, can come, learn, and play the musical instrument flute in an easy-to-follow, organized manner, and in the privacy and comfort of your own home, on your own schedule.